Should you or should you not take physical action when manifesting? The answer is absolutely not, but that of course is not enough for you to be convinced that what you have been used to doing up until now is not the best way to go about it, that your imagination alone is enough for you to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve, be it a job, be it physical changes like, for example, weight loss and weight gain and healing, be it anything related to any relationship, money, or whatever else you may be manifesting. We, of course, being human beings in this physical reality, we experience life in the 3D, and we have been used to doing everything in the 3D and reacting to the 3D. And when you learn that before things happen in the 3D, they need to happen in your imagination, that changes everything. So my intention with this video is to explain to you why physical action is not only isn't necessary, it's not like you can get away with not taking action, but it's absolutely not necessary actually. And sometimes it can get in your way, because I'm going to explain more why. Because physical action and manifestation actually have nothing to do with each other. And also the term taking inspired action, I might ruin that for you in this video, and I'll do that happily. And you'll see why in a minute. So before I start talking about action, non-action, please make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you stay tuned for more videos like this, where I keep manifestation simple and practical so that you can apply it to your own manifestations right away and share it with whomever you think might benefit from videos like this. So, in order to understand why you should not take physical action, and actually everything in manifestation, in order to understand why you should or should not do something, what I like to do is going back to the basics and understand how manifestation works. In the most basic way of, in the simplest term, that's what I'm trying to say. In the simplest term, manifestation means that whatever is in your imagination, whatever is in your subconscious, which is imaginal acts and thoughts repeated so that they become your beliefs and your beliefs, assumptions, etc., they have to be expressed in the physical so that it manifests a physical situation or an object that you experience, which on the other hand means that everything that you're experiencing in the physical reality comes from your imagination, and you cannot experience something in the physical before experiencing it in your mind. That alone is an explanation enough, I think, to know why you can't take physical action. Because when you are working with the physical, you're working with the mirror. When you're looking at yourself, this is one of my favorite analogies, by the way, from Neville Goddard. He says that your 3D reality is a mirror. When you're looking in the mirror and there's something about you, about what you're seeing in the reflection of the mirror that you don't like, you don't go and work with the mirror. You don't change the mirror. You change yourself. In manifestation terms, it means that when you have a situation that you don't like, for example, you're looking for a job, or you're manifesting a better relationship with an SP, or just in general, or whatever else, actually, when you are trying to do stuff in the 3D, you're working with the mirror. The 3D is just showing you what you are holding in your imagination. And going back to working with changing yourself, as I think I said before in the example, means you change your thoughts and imaginal acts. So when you are manifesting something, and I hear this a lot from clients. While manifesting, for example, an SP, I often hear, shouldn't I text him? Shouldn't I say this? Shouldn't I say that? That, first of all, is the habit of doing everything in the physical. And what is even more important, and what I want you to pay attention to, is the lack of trust in your own imagination and in your own ability to manifest. I hear this from a lot of people, and I myself have been through this years ago, that everyone else is so good at manifesting, but I'm not. Everyone else is so good at visualizing, but that's this big thing that I can't do. That's not true. That is not true. Everyone who has ever manifested anything has been through the same doubts and fears and whatever you're going through until they manifested what they wanted to manifest. So just know that whenever you're trying to take action to make something happen, you are coming from lack. Because all that is required for you in order to have something in the physical is that you get yourself into the state of the wish fulfilled, in having what you want. And that can look like a thought repeated / affirmation. It can look like in your imagination, imagining however you imagine. When I say imagination, that doesn't always mean visualization, although it can be. But it can also be having an inner conversation, which can be visualized, but also you can just hear someone's voice, and that's enough for it to manifest if repeated and persisted in. And that is how you live in the end. It's a conscious choice that you make to choose thoughts and imaginal acts that mean that you already are the person who already has the thing. When you are in that state, let's say you have manifested your desired relationship, you have manifested your desire. From that place, you are not going to take action to get to your desire, right? So therefore, whenever you want to take action to make something happen, it comes from lack. It's, again, what Neville Goddard calls 3D manipulation. It's powerless because your 3D holds no power over your mind, your imagination. It's always mind above matter. So your 3D is just a mirror showing you what you are thinking and holding in your mind. And therefore useless and powerless. So, another way of looking at this is to actually remember that the power that you are manifesting from is the Almighty God. And when we as human beings try to make something happen in the 3D and compare that to the fact that your imagination is God, that looks like, on a very objective, I think, level, it looks like we human beings are trying to help God give us the thing that we want to have. And that becomes ridiculous. And I'm not trying to ridicule anyone's action here, but I like to make the limitations seem ridiculous so that you understand how much power your own imagination actually holds, that it's enough. Neville Goddard actually says that once you have imagined something, meaning once you have imagined something in a way that it has sunk into your subconscious, he says there's nothing you can do. There's absolutely nothing you can do. And here comes a very important thing about inspired action that I promised you that I would ruin for you. When you are taking what they call inspired action, now what I don't like about that term is that people make it sound like you need to pay attention and figure out which desire of taking action is the right one, so it's inspired, so that when you take that action, it does something to your manifestation, and which one is not. That is something that is not for you to figure out. When your end state, your, let's say, affirmation, your new assumption has sunk into your subconscious, if it's needed for you to do something in order for your manifestation to happen, trust me, you will have no choice but to do it. Your subconscious mind, your imagination, which is God, trust me, it's powerful enough to move you to do the thing that is necessary for you to do in order to get it. And the way it will feel and look like is that you naturally just do your thing. It's not something that you will think about. It's not something that you will start questioning, should I do this? Should I not do this? Is this inspired? Will this get me somewhere? If you're having these questions, then let it be, leave it. Because the true action that comes as part of your manifestation is something that you will do so naturally that you will have absolutely no questions. It will feel good. It will feel normal, actually. And it will feel like something that it's like you're thirsty, you drink water. And then later you realize that, oh, I had to do that in that way. Because that comes, that true inspired action comes from the state of the wish fulfilled. So you are already acting as a different person. So you are already acting as the person who already has it. So it's going to feel completely different. To all of you who has questions about your actions, whether you should not, it's coming from lack. Your subconscious mind is not going to let you have questions when you are taking the action necessary for you to manifest it. But on the other hand, you never know if it's even necessary for you to take any action at all. A lot of manifestations come without you doing anything, which is a great experience to have. So just let your subconscious figure out what it needs to make you do or not do. A lot of times, I actually encourage my clients to specifically sit on their hands when they want to do things. Should I do this? Should I do that? I want to do this. And sometimes it looks like I want to do it and I actually naturally want to do it. A lot of times, actually, it's an excuse to manipulate the 3D in order to feel safe. Because we feel safe when we do something, because we're used to it, that it's all there is to it. Whenever you are in a state like that, really try to figure out if you're actually wanting to send that message or do that thing, or is it actually because you are afraid that you won't get your manifestation if you don't do anything. So I encourage you to, instead of doing that, every time, go back in your imagination and live the experience of already being where you want to be. And therefore, physical action is absolutely of no use. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who have done things in the 3D that you might have regretted, this is also a story that I hear sometimes here and there that, oh, I started an argument, now it's so bad, now the person is going to think bad thoughts about me, and now they'll never come back. Remember that it was physical action, that the action in and of itself has no power over what you assume. So if something like that has happened and you keep assuming that the person loves me no matter what, that I am loved, I am respected, I am whatever I want to be, whatever you did in the physical has no power to keep your manifestation away from you. So this goes both ways, both for the positive and the negative. Just the same way as your positive and negative thoughts manifest the same way if persisted in. When I say physical action has no power, it's whether it's positive or negative, even if something bad really happened. You can go from there, change your assumptions and your imaginal acts, and still manifest what you want to manifest, because that was the mirror showing you your state of that moment. Please let me know in the comments if all this made sense. I really hope to have explained to you why you don't have to take any physical action in order to manifest what you want. I mean, we live in the 3D, we do things in the 3D all the time, and that's wonderful. But this was about doing stuff specifically to help your manifestation come about. That's a lack state. And what you are experiencing in the physical is the state that you are holding through your imagination, thoughts, visualizations, inner conversations, feelings, moods, and everything that is non-physical. So that is where you hold all your power, not in the 3D. So you don't have to do anything, and you shouldn't. So make sure you work with your assumptions, your beliefs, your repeated imaginal acts, and stay in the state of the wish fulfilled. If you can't stay there, repeatedly come back to it. Rehearse it over and over and over until it becomes so natural that it just flows. That is the place everything is effortless from. And when we do manifestation techniques, we do that in order to achieve that state where we are in the state of the wish fulfilled and everything just comes. And again, if it's needed for you to take action, you can't miss it. Trust me, your subconscious, again, is powerful enough to not let you miss it. It always helps when you're solving any problem manifestation-wise, it always helps to go back to the basics. How does it work? It's imagination, create reality. It's not your physical action. Well, I used the word create, but let's just do that. It's imagination creates reality. It's not your physical actions create reality. Because your physical action and anything in the 3D that you're dealing with is powerless, in the sense that whatever you are used to doing in the physical, it is the result of your programming. So that also comes from the mind. But there are several reasons why I love this topic. Like, it's a weird thing to say maybe, but I'm really passionate about not taking action for different reasons. One reason that I really experienced myself while testing manifestation, while, in the process of manifesting, is the experience of receiving something just because you are. Not because you did things to manipulate, not because you did stuff. And when you do things in the physical, it's like, for example, having that conversation with your SP, or doing whatever you usually do in order to have more money, or whatever it may be. And when you receive the results of what you did, first of all, if the assumption about the situation has not changed, the result is not going to be permanent. So this is for me at least, it's a big reason to work with my assumptions instead of do stuff in the physical, get a temporary result, and then have to repeat the whole thing all over again. When you change the assumption, the new assumption is going to be on autopilot so that you don't have to deal with the problem. That's one good reason. I know I said I wanted to give you one reason, but I think I'm going to give you several. So that was one, and that was not the one I was talking about. And the next good reason to actually not take action, but to do it through your mind, through the power that you actually already have, is the experience of, again, receiving something because you are, especially if it's contact from your SP that you are manifesting. Don't reach out, don't manipulate the 3D, because when you then get the contact, you will know that that's because you reached out yourself, or that's because you did that other thing that you did, and not because, and you don't get the experience that your person reached out to you because you deserve it, they miss you, they have feelings for you, and all the other things that you want to experience. So the experience of receiving your manifestation without having to manipulate is worth it. But the reason I was initially going to give you as a very good big reason why you don't want to take action is because most of the time when you take action in order to get your manifestation, you do it because you are in the state of lack of it. And that is the only thing that delays, let's say, your manifestation, that prevents it from coming. It's your state. The physical results that you're going to get are going to come from your state. So if your state says, I don't have it, so I need to do something in order to get something, your state still says, I don't have it. So even though you might get, as I said before, the temporary result of doing something in the physical, if your assumption, your story hasn't changed, that's not going to last, because your assumption is still going to manifest. And this is why people keep dealing with the same problem over and over. Sometimes people keep dealing with the same problem in the same situation, for example, with the same person in the same workplace. Other times they get out of a relationship, they get into a new relationship, and then they start dealing with the same problems, and it goes on and on like that. That's because whatever you do in the physical, you're taking your assumptions with you. You're taking your imagination with you. Whatever is in your imagination, whatever is programmed, especially in your mind, in your subconscious mind, it's the subconscious that is getting programmed. You're taking that with you. So I want to give you an example from my manifestations. So I am evidently the queen of losing objects and then manifesting it back. It happens so much, and now I'm really also focused on it. So I keep losing things, and it has become ridiculous because it repeats. There's something like at all times almost, losing objects, it's gone. And then I manifest it back, and it's the same process every time. And if you have lost anything, I really challenge you to try this, because first of all, it's so much fun to do it like this, like the pure manifestation way. And second of all, it's such a clear, simple example for you, and it becomes your example, and it becomes your experience that you can go back to and remember that it works like that for any manifestation also, even if it's an SP, even if you're manifesting wealth, whatever it is. So whenever I realize I have lost something, the human me starts looking for it. Physical action. That's what we do. You have lost something, and you need to look for it in order to find it. And then after that, I realized that I'm a conscious manifester. I have been manifesting for years, and this is my lifestyle, and that's what I do. And that is the moment where I realize that I am looking for it because I am in the state of having lost it, because I am aware that the thing is lost, the thing is not there, lack. That's where I stop looking for it. And what I do instead, and this is the part of the video that I think will inspire you to actually get back to imagination whenever you want to do stuff in the physical to really manipulate something to happen. I stop looking for the lost object and I go inside my imagination and I imagine having it in my hand, having found whatever I lost. And by the way, I'm not talking about losing my phone for 5 minutes or losing the keys for 5 minutes. It's things that are completely evaporated. So this is what I do. Basically, that's all I do, and that is all that is needed for your manifestation to come. And this is the whole mechanism actually of manifesting. Stop yourself from being aware of the lack state. Go in your imagination, feel the presence of your manifestation, of your desire. And that is something I do every single time I remember that I have lost that object, I want to find it, etc. I stop myself right there, and again, I imagine having found whatever it is. It's there. I have it now. And I don't imagine the process where it could be, imagining it being in a specific place, etc. So we don't go into the how, it doesn't matter. Without fail, every single time, stuff shows up. Different ways, different places, the weirdest places that they shouldn't be in. I probably will make like specific videos of having manifested finding my lost things in places that they shouldn't be. Like the weirdest stuff can happen with this. But it doesn't matter. What matters is the result, right? So this is exactly what you can do, for example, when you're manifesting a specific person and you want to reach out, you want to do things, you want to go that place that you know they come to, or their friends are there, so that you know the things that you might do or might want to do. Whenever you want to do things, stop and ask yourself, what state am I coming from? Will I do this? Will I be in this feeling state? And will I want to do this if I were already having the contact and the relationship that I wanted? Some of you, maybe you are just focusing on the contact, so that will be your question. Others of you are manifesting a committed relationship. So if you were in a committed relationship, will you feel the need to go to that place in order for your SP to see you? Or will you feel the need to send that specific particular message that you're about to send in order for them to reach to you? Is that your desired end goal? Or in your desired end goal, you will have them contact you, or this back and forth texting maybe wouldn't even be a thing because you're living together. So you stop yourself, you go inside your imagination, and that's what you experience in your imagination. The same thing comes to health. Some people have asked me to talk more about health, and it's such an important topic that we sort of forget because we're all manifesting SP and money, and a lot of my clients are manifesting SP. The second topic is money. Weight loss. Weight loss goes in the health category. So for those clients, for those people who are manifesting weight-related stuff, the focus is always on food, needing to control food. That's 3D stuff. That has nothing to do with your assumptions. Your assumptions are still going to manifest. So make sure that you work with your imagination instead of doing things in the physical. You It will be far more efficient for you to imagine yourself having the body that you want, being healthy, instead of focusing on what you can or can't eat. What you can or can't eat is completely dependent on what you assume you can or can't eat, because your body is going to listen to your assumptions, not the food guru you follow, not even what science tells you, because this and I'm going to make this part short. If you go back, let's say 10 years, 20 years, and remember how many times science specifically about food, what's good for you, what's not good for you, how much it has changed. One year, one thing is good, another year, the other thing is good, and then we knew something that was wrong, and now we have figured out that what we thought was bad, now it's good. Leave all that to the scientists. You do your job, which is imagine the end. If you love certain foods that are considered to be healthy and that's how you eat, that's great. Do that. If you love foods that you feel guilty about eating, that is what you need to work on, the guilt, not the food. Not the 3D action, but the imagination, what you keep feeding your mind, right? So, and these were several examples from topics that are very popular. It's SP, it's your body, the way you look, it's everything, money, your job, every relationship. Anytime you try to do something that is not focused on what you think, what you believe, what you keep imagining, then you are giving your power away to something that depends on you. Your physical action also depends on your assumptions. So make sure to go to the source. You are the source. The source of everything that you experience is your imagination anyway. And that is the reason that you shouldn't be taking action. If action is needed for your manifestation to come, if it's part of your manifestation, you won't be here watching videos about taking action. You won't consider it. It will happen so naturally that you won't even realize what you're doing in the moment. It will come naturally and it will be a happy, normal feeling. If you are wondering whether or not you should take action, stop yourself and realize what state you're in and go to the state that you would be in if your manifestation were already a physical fact. That's our only job, basically, as manifestors. So let me know in the comments if this was inspiring for you, if you actually decided to not take action, but to use your own power, your real power, the real one, your imagination. And once again, subscribe to the channel and share it with people that you think might benefit from it, and see you in the next video.